you're looking at the your potential market. Okay, in order for you to better estimate the market demand. Okay, let me just highlight to you. Okay, we have the supply, we have the demand. Supply is no issue, kawan-kawan. Later we will look at supply, no issue at all. But when you are talking about demand, this is basically very, very challenging. In anything, you're talking about residential demand ke, retail demand ke, this is a very challenging thing. Okay, it's not easy for you to identify or for you to forecast demand. Okay, then you're looking at the competitiveness of the segment. Let's say you are talking about residential. Residential in Petaling Jaya. Wow, that is very competitive, man. How are you going to identify residential? See, because it's a big thing. Now, when you are talking about market segmentation, residential, you have got to subdivide again. Are you looking at the price? Low, medium, high? Are you looking at the types of residential? Okay, you are looking at the semi-D, you are talking about terrace houses, single story, double story. Are you looking at condominium? Are you looking at apartment? You see, the market is very huge. That's what you said just now. The market is huge. So therefore, market segmentation is for you to subdivide. Again, you're talking about geographical area, location. Which section are we talking about? If it's in PJ, okay, which section are we talking about? Section 5, section 14, which section? 17, which section? You see? Or you're talking in terms of the demographic, the status, the income level, for example. See, that's what it meant. We subdivide the market. That's how you define your market area. Okay, so 6 characteristics here. Later you will learn further. Okay, I'm just going to mention this. Okay, it must be measurable. If you want to subdivide your market, make sure you be able to measure each of the market that you have subdivided. Okay, it must be sufficient. Okay, enough for you to do the studies. It must be accessible. You be able to access the market. You be able to identify your respondent and stuff like that. Okay, actionability. You can take actionability. You can collect data. You can do the analysis. You can do. That's what it meant. Okay, unique response and stability. Okay, you be able to get whatever that you want to get at the end of the day. So this is what it meant. Okay, you've got the 6 characteristics. You will learn this further in your marketing actually. Okay, okay, right. So market is about the interaction between the supply and demand. Whereas the market area is where you subdivide the market according to your study. Okay, if it's smaller, then it's going to be a smaller scope. If it's bigger, it's going to be a larger scope. Okay, so that's what it meant. Okay, so defining the market, is it important? Very important. Very, very important. Okay, has anybody saw that? Okay. In already, everybody in already. It seems that the system should do it automatically, but somehow it's just don't want to do it automatically. All right. Right, next one. Okay. Approach in regards you want to define the market. Okay, there are a few approaches here when you want to define the market. Okay. I'm not going to go through this slide. I'm going to go through the other slide. Okay, slide after this. Okay, because this one is clearly said what would be the answer. If you're talking about retail, what techniques you need to use. Okay, if you're talking about offices, what techniques you need to use. Okay, we looked at the techniques first. Okay, there are 2 things here. Okay, 2 approaches. One is the general, another one is the specific approach. Okay, one is general, another one is specific approach. Okay, the general approach, okay, one, you're talking about the census tract. Okay, basically this particular techniques is actually focused towards the population. Let's say your area is in regards of this residential in Sri Damansara. Okay, what types of residential are we looking at? We're talking about the double story residential houses, for example. So what happened is that we are looking at that particular area. Okay, we are looking at the population size of that particular area. So from that population size, then only you narrow it down, you take the sample size. Okay, so this is what it meant. You taking the population of that particular market area. Okay, census is the population. Okay, so that's what it meant. Okay. Secondly, you're talking in terms of the market area by substitute properties. Okay, market area by the substitute properties. So what is meant here is that how you identify the market area, you looked at the principle of substitution. Principle of substitution. So let's say you're talking about a condominium, a condominium in a defined area. Okay, a condominium in PJ, for example. So what happened is that you take the substitute in regards of the area that there is condominiums, okay, the subject property, okay, very much similar to your project, okay. You take the same one, okay, same subject property as a substitute. So this is where your market area of regards of your studies. Okay, so you're talking here about the residential buyer, they want to purchase expensive unit. Okay, then you're talking about the substitutable units that they be able to take to constitute the market in regards of the subject property. Okay, as compared to, okay, compared to whatever that you want to study. Okay, so this is what it means. Okay, substitute. Okay, the other one is in regards of these analogues. Okay, market area by analogues. This depends on or apply the basis of comparability. Okay, equivalent to your subject side. Okay, equivalent to your subject side. If you're talking about you have one vacant land in PJ, for example, then you are searching for another vacant land nearby that particular area. Okay, so once you establish your similar site, then you'll be able to estimate the market area for the subject site. Okay, that's what it meant. Okay, this one and the other substitute, it looks very much similar, but it's different actually. Okay, this one is equivalent, similar. Okay, similar. The other one is substitute. Okay, right. Specific techniques. Okay, specific techniques. One, you're talking in terms of Rayleigh law, retail gravitation. So what's important here is that the Rayleigh law depends on the so-called gravity or Newton law. Okay, Newton law is actually focused towards the law of attraction. Or in other words, some people say it's about the what they call it, the push factor. What are the things that push that particular area? So this is what it meant. So Rayleigh law of retail gravitation is based on the Newton law of attraction. So what happened is that the Rayleigh law said that the trade area boundary between the two competing retail areas is a function of the size as well as the distance. So what's important here is that we are looking at the size as well as distance. Okay, where is it that you will have the law of attraction? Okay, is it the much more bigger? Okay, distance would be shorter. Would that make that particular retail site more attractive, for example? Okay, so that's what it meant. There's formulas that goes towards this. Okay, ada formula there. Okay, you'll be able to apply it accordingly. Okay, about the size and the distance. This is the specific techniques. Rayleigh law of retail gravitation. Okay. Next one, we have the Apple-bound customer spotting or tracking techniques. Okay, this is the, not to say similar, but what happened is that you track the customer record. Okay, you track the customer record either using the okay, you remember that when you go to Aeon, okay, they've got all these the loyalty card. Remember, you've got the loyalty card. You pay certain amount, and you've got the card. So therefore, you've got the privilege in regards of the. Can they enter or somebody cannot enter? I hear the sound.
Ada tu Afiq lagi tandas.
Okay. Tak payah cakap, pergi je. Baiknya you all. Alright. Okay. So this particular loyalty card, kawan-kawan, is one of the ways that you be able to track the customers, okay, or locate the customers. Okay. So what happened is that some of the studies will use this particular mailing addresses, telephone directories, even your license plate numbers, you know, your addresses. It can be used for them to gather the data, collect the data. Okay, it can be used for them to sample your respondent out of this particular loyalty card. Okay, it can be done as well. So this is where the Applebaum customer spotting or tracking techniques comes in. Or some, they have the GPS, GPS lah, GIS, sorry kawan-kawan. You have the GIS. The GIS can also track, okay, who are your respondent out of this listing, Okay, that's quite interesting because sometimes when you look at the loyalty card, there's no with no purpose, you know. Why do they collect that address? Why do they collect? Of course, they won't be able to do anything except for trying to track the customers, isn't it? One day they might need more information from them and stuff like that. Okay, so this is one of the way, especially towards the retails. Okay, it's very effective. Okay, right. Next one, you're talking about the Nelson technique. Nelson technique. This is similar to the previous one, Applebaum, but however, there are certain number of assumption. Okay, certain number of assumption. Contoh, one, you're talking in terms of the merchandise. Okay, let's say you have two. Okay, apa example Where do you like to lepak, kawan-kawan? I want to give some retails example. Where do you like to lepak?
MACD.
Oh, MACD. Alah, retail kakak. Retail.
Mamak tepi jalan.
Ayo, tak maulah mamak tepi jalan. Retail. Dekam. Anybody? Alah, dekam nak tutup pula. Mi Valley. Okay, Mi Valley is nearer to you, right? So when you're talking about Mi Valley, there's also another one at the back, or is it at the front? The garden, right? I don't know which one is back, which one is front, but they are next to each other. Anyway, so you're talking in terms of the availability of merchandise. Okay, which one would you prefer? Would you prefer Mi Valley? You prefer the garden? Okay. Competitive pricing. So this is the same with what we are talking just now. However, the Nelson technique will actually have a number of different assumptions. They are looking at the competitive pricing. They are looking at the physical amenities. They are talking about conveniences, okay, the dominance of the trading center and stuff like that. So this is what happened. Of course, when you are looking at certain retail area, it looks the same. However, there are differences. Okay. If you read books, kawan-kawan, books about retailing, it says that retailing depends on the experience of the customers. retailing depends on the experience of the customer. So the customers normally will revisit the same retail or the same store because of the good experience that they have gone through. Okay, because of the good experiences. Okay, maknanya at the end of the day, certain people would not like certain retail center because of the experience that they not so good experience that they've been there. Okay, because of that not so good experience. So it's about the experiences. That is why when you go to certain retailing area, some of you might like it, some of you might not like it. Okay, ada tak? Do you have that feeling when you go to a retail center?
Yes.
Which one you like? Which one you don't like?
Pavilion.
I don't like one view.
Oh yeah, yeah. That may be one of the things, isn't it? On the facilities and amenities. Yeah, things that you like, things that you don't like. Other than that, how about the shops? How about the shops? You might like Mid Valley because of the ambience, is it? Because of the choices that you have there, isn't it? It's huge, isn't it? It's big. How frequent do you go there?
Once a week.
Huh?
Once a week.
Once a week? Wow.
Masa dekat UM dulu lah.
Once upon a time. Okay.
For me it's too big.
Beli stationery je.
Too big.
Too big. Too big. Okay, you don't like because it's too big. Ayo. Okay. You are same like me, man. I also don't like it because it's too big. And another thing which I do not like about Mi Valley is that I've got to queue if I want to eat. Especially during rush hours kan. Lunchtime, I've got to queue. I don't like.
Tak dapat
I cannot wait.
parking.
Tak dapat parking. Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. That's why they said if you want to go to Mi Valley, you have got to go there early. Other than that, it will be very difficult for you to get parking. Okay, so that's one of the reasons. Okay, what else do you like? If you do not like Mi Valley, then where do you like to shop? Brian, where do you like to shop?
Penang one, doctor, can
Where?
Queens Bay.
Oh, Queens Bay, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, Queens Bay quite huge as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's huge as well, isn't it? Oh, yalah, you orang island kan, island Queens Bay lah. Okay. Other than that, who else? Johor people. What? Nurul Ain'ni? Oh, where is that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Some people said it's kedai saka. You go in, you cannot go out. They're in but no out, you know. What else? JB people.
Paradigm Mall.
Paradigm, the new one, is it?
Yes.
Is it good? Any good?
I think it's good because apa yang saya nak ada dekat situ.
That's good lah. And that's why you like it. Other than that, Melaka. No Melaka.
Formosa.
Formosa. Oh, Formosa, the one in the what is it?
The Junker. I think Melaka is more interesting one in the Junker.
Melaka where got shopping mall? Aeon. Or is it the designer center there? The one in the Formosa, is it? What's the name? Freeport, is it?
You know.
Don't know Ayo. Okay, who else? Melaka, Kuantan, no Kuantan. Kota Baru.
Genting Highland.
Genting
GPO.
Highland. GPO, yeah. But sometimes there's a lot of people. But that's different category of malls, because we said just now retailing depends on the experiences. Okay. Genting Highland is called Designer Center. It's out of town center, kawan-kawan. It's out of town center. Unlike the what do you call it? Suria KLCC, unlike the Pavilion, okay, different centers already. Okay, so you're talking in terms of this Nelson. Okay, Nelson technique depends on the merchandise, all these facilities, amenities and stuff like that. Okay, so that's the difference here. Okay, that's the difference here. So what happened now is that once the researcher be able to investigate the retail side, then they will look at the population, the income, the nearby competitive stores, the traffic patterns, etc., etc. Okay, right. Then another thing, so we are talking in terms of this city core versus suburban. Okay, city core versus suburban. So what happened here is that when you're talking about city core, you are actually talking about the central business district. Central business district. And this particular central business district, we know that they have different characteristics. Okay, one, you're talking about maximum accessibility, you're talking about amenities, you're talking about nearness in regards of transportation, you're talking in terms of the customers, labor and stuff like that. So that is the city core, the CBD. Then another one, you're talking about suburban. Suburban normally is different, again different. Why? Because the concentration here is more towards the residential area or mixed development area. Okay, mixed development area, unlike your CBD. So therefore, if you are looking at this particular market area, of course, the needs, the wants, the demands would be very much different. Okay, you have learned marketing, right? Tell me, what's the difference between needs, wants, and demand? What's the difference? Dah belajar marketing, what's the difference? What's the difference between needs and wants?
Needs create wants.
Needs?
Well, a person needs will eventually create a want.
Okay, so the wants is?
The one is our desire. Nafsu,
Our
nafsu. Need kalau tak ada, susah nak hidup macam tu.
Oh, okay.
Need
Okay.
is something that you have to have.
You
One
have
is
got to have.
Yeah.
Okay, one is your desire.
Yeah.
Okay,
Lovely dah.
right. Okay, alright. Needs is a necessity. Ya, kawan-kawan. You want a house, the 2-bedroom house is a house. Okay, 2 bedrooms apartment is a house. That is a house. But what you want is a bungalow with 8 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, you know, with a swimming pool and stuff like that. That is one. So what is that supposed to mean? One is normally backed up by purchasing power. One is backed up by purchasing power. So meaning that your one, you have money in your pocket. If you want car, Azia is car. But you don't want car. You want car with speed. Okay, you want a Volvo, you want a Lamborghini, you want a Ferrari. So your one is backed up by purchasing power, which is money in your pocket. Right, so that's what it means. So that's the difference here. So basically, if you are looking at this market area between this CBD and the suburban, so you realize that the needs, the wants, the demands are all different. Why? Because you have a different target market. You have a different target market. That is why when you are looking at retail in the city center, the Suria KLCC, the Pavilion, and the retail, okay, in the neighborhood center, okay, example, you're talking about Aeon. Aeon would prefer a neighborhood center, okay, neighborhood. Taman University, Taman Setia Wangsa, Taman, Maluri. Aeon like to be in a neighborhood center. Okay, so one, the target market is different. Target market different. The merchandise, the products that they offer are all different. Okay, so that's why we said that CBD and suburban, okay, the needs, the wants, the demand are all different. Okay, because you have a different target market. Kawan-kawan, if you have time, try and Google for this Aeon group of companies. Aeon group of companies. Okay, they are amazing in a way that when they open up one store, when they open up one retail center, not store lah, retail center. When they open up one retail center, they make sure that all their subsidiaries company are all in there. Okay, then only they take other people. You realize that? Okay, macam all these wellness pharmacies belong to them, Mr. Donut belong to them. Okay, some of these certain groups tu memang certain brand name must follow them along, tag along with them. Okay, these are their groups of company. So they tag along everybody. Okay, they tag along everybody. That is one of their business model, which I think is quite good. Tak ada orang yang buat macam tu, dia je buat macam tu. Okay, so that's quite good. So their business operandi is quite unique in a way. Right? Okay, you're talking about city core and suburban. Then you're talking about single tenant and multi-tenant. Normally this one will be towards the office building. Single tenant, of course, you have one tenant for the whole building. Okay, multi-tenant, you have multiple tenants. Okay, every floor maybe one or two tenants, or one floor, one tenant. Okay, again, their needs, their wants, their requirements are all different. Okay, have you actually been to your intern? You all, each and every one of you, dah pergi intern belum?
October.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Soon, right? You go
This
for the
October.
corporate, you go, this coming October, you go for the corporate, you go for the valuation firm, or what is it? Any preferences yet? Not yet.
We are supposed to decide by this Friday.
Sudah ada lah. Get some ideas in your head. Or is it because of the yesterday punya meeting? Is it you have the G-Meet meeting? Is it in regards of your intern?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So you've got some rough ideas already, right? If you be able to join the corporate, well, by all means, go and join the corporate. Okay, some of the corporate, they are quite good because they've got many buildings to take care of. Okay, because their modus operandi will be different. Okay, altogether. So therefore, when you are looking at these tenants, kawan-kawan, you are looking at these tenants, either be single tenants or the multi-tenants. What happens is that their needs, their wants, their requirement would be different, totally different. Okay, let's say you're looking at this. Some of the tenants, they like this open concept. They like all this. Hot desking, they like all this technologies approach in regards of their setting up of the offices. Okay, some they are still the traditional ways of office setting. Okay, so it depends, isn't it? What is their requirement and what sort of businesses they are into. But if you have time, again, try and Google this Google Office. Okay, Google Office around the world. Try and Google that. Okay, that will be amazing what they have in store for their tenants. Okay, because they believe that in regards of the office setting up, it has got to be lively. It has got to be fun. You know, even towards the food, I cannot remember which Google office, but they have altogether 17 restaurants in that particular office complex. They call it complex, right? In that particular office complex, they've got 17 restaurants. You can eat there for free and enjoy. Okay, so that's quite good. Okay, that's quite good. So again, when you are looking at this market area in regards of tenants or in regards of office building, again, you need to identify who are they. Are you talking about single? Are you talking about multiple? Okay, right. Next one, you are talking in terms of class or quality of space. Okay, again, this normally apply towards the office building. Okay, and here you are talking in terms of the quality of space. Office building, they have all this classification, right? Class A, super class A lah, class B, class C and stuff like that. Okay, so different classes will have a different target market altogether. Okay, especially when you are looking at the multinational firm, they might require super class A. Okay, and for this normal company, for example, you know, local, okay, they don't need advanced technology in regards of their office space, so therefore they might not require quality of space. Okay, so that's the difference. Again, your market area will be differently identified. Okay, then you're talking about this specific location analysis. This is where you focus on the identified location. You have that location in your mind, so you focus that particular area only. Okay, senang, not so challenging, isn't it? You just focus on certain things only for that particular area. So this is what it meant. Okay, specific location analysis. Okay, right. Do you have any question or shall I move on?
Move on only, doctor.
Okay, then only we discuss. Okay, right. Then you're looking at the supply side. Just now you're looking in terms of the market and market area, but now your focus is towards the supply side. Okay, supply side is not that difficult. Why? Because we know that where to get the data. Okay, especially you are talking in terms of the existing or completed building. Okay, you are talking about building which is under construction, or you are talking about building that will be in the pipeline. Okay, so there are three categories of the supply. Okay, obviously you can go to the planning department. Okay, some secondary data like NAPIC will have it. Okay, but that one is secondary data. Some of it is obsolete already. But again, you have some rough ideas what's the supply like. Okay, what's the supply is like. Okay, you'll be able to analyze the supply. You'll be able to look at the competing products between supply A, supply B, supply C. You'll be looking at the price, you'll be looking at the floor area and other characteristics. So supply side is not that difficult. You'll be able to identify it. Okay, in secondary data, or if you are looking at the primary data also can. Okay, but the easiest way is in regards of the planning department. Okay. Right, demand side. Okay, this is where we say that demand is not always easy for you to estimate. Okay, why? Because there are three types of demands. Okay, one is the latent or inactive demand. Okay, what happened here is that example. Okay, you like to buy the house. You like the house so much. You want to buy the house, but you have the constraint in regards of the income. Okay, that is inactive demand. Suka, but you cannot have it because of the constraint in regards of income. That's what we call inactive demand. or you're talking about potential demand. Potential demand. Okay. Your inactive demand can be a potential demand as well. Okay. How? Okay. Let's say you want to buy the house, but you don't have enough money, or your constraint is in regards of your monthly income. So what happened is that, what if there's another product, okay, you want to buy a medium medium category of house, medium category in regards of this medium cost, okay, medium cost houses. So what happened if there's a developer that can actually produce, okay, the medium the house that you want, but it's meant for the low income. Would you like it? I see. Your inactive demand now will turn into the potential demand. Okay, in terms of the prices, it's going to be lower. Okay, just now when the price is high, you become inactive because you know that you have the constraint. But once you have another substitute product that is lower in price, you might buy it. You become the potential demand. You have that demand for that particular houses. Okay, so normally when you read books, only 1 and 2, latent, inactive demand and potential demand being discussed. The artificial demands, they won't be discussing it unless you are talking about the marketing convenience product. Okay, in real estate you seldom talk about artificial demands. Artificial demands is where you demand for something, but in the absence of certain exposure, okay, certain exposure, you're talking about advertising, you're talking about all these advertisement, you know, here and there. Somehow or other, this particular product, they won't exist. Okay, they won't exist. Okay, but because of the advertising, they become highly demanded. They become highly demanded. Okay, contoh you're talking about this particular diamond. Okay, diamond here. Okay, okay. Sebenarnya tak ada apa pun. Kalau if you're talking about diamond, you can have it or you don't have it, or maybe you have it at least one. Okay, but you are talking about, oh, this one is very rare. It has what 1 carat, 2 carat, what 6 carat of diamonds, you know, therefore it becomes very expensive. Only the rich can buy that, you know, and stuff like that. Okay, so this is what artificial demand is all about. Okay, they try to create the demand. Okay, try to create the demand. Right, so that is demand analysis. Again, when you are talking about demand as demand per se, okay, you need to actually look at other factors as well. Okay, you are talking about the population, you are talking about the buyer's age, you are talking about the income, okay, affordability, inflation, interest rate, availability of saving. Wow, there's so many things here. It all will influence your demand. Imagine how complicated your demand is. Okay, how complicated your demand is. So therefore, what I wrote there is that demand is never easy to estimate. Never ever easy to estimate. Okay, supply is okay, fine. You can actually calculate your supply, analyze your supply. But demand is never an easy task. Okay, so that's what it meant. Right, competitors analysis, who are they? Okay, this is another aspect of your market analysis. You are looking at the competitors. Okay, basically what you are looking at is you are looking at their strengths, their weaknesses. Why do people buy their product? Okay, what are the attributes of their product? Where is the location? How about their pricing, promotions, and stuff like that? Okay, this is what you're looking at. Because at the end of the day, what you want is you are looking at the competitive advantage of the proposed site. Competitive advantage of the proposed site. Okay, you're looking at the development per se as a whole. You're looking at the development per se. You're talking about the target market, each of the target market. Is it low income, medium income, high income? Who are they? Who are their target group? Okay, you're looking at the location. You're talking about the design, quality, facilities, amenities, marketing strategies. Whoa, a lot. Okay, is it easy? No, but it's doable. This thing is doable. You'll be able to identify all these things. Okay, you'll be able to identify all these things. Okay, so it's not something that is not, is doable. So that's the bottom line, doable. Pricing not so bad because most of the developers, most of the real estate investors, developers, they know already what kind of prices that they want to offer. So the simplest way, they are looking at the cost plus and markup pricing. Okay, what are their costs? Okay, 50% out of their cost would be their profit margin. They have predetermined their profit margin. Okay, for each unit, for example. Okay, or you're talking in terms of the break-even pricing. Okay, so once they touch, like say, they touch the 50 numbers of houses that they want to sell, the balance is actually their profit. Okay, their break-even or the markup or cost plus. Okay, so most of the real estate project, they already have their fixed price in regards of their product lines. Don't get me wrong, kawan-kawan, when you're talking about pricing, everything they have calculate already. They have calculate already. They have calculate all the free gifts inside there. They have calculate the free lawyers fee. They have calculate all this durian party, satay party and stuff like that. Everything is been calculated. Okay, tak ada investors ke developers ke, tak ada. Nothing is free in this world. Nothing is free in this world. Everything they have calculated. Especially when they give you free gifts. Example, they give you aircon, they give you dryers and stuff like that. Okay, it has been calculated in the price. Nothing is free. Alright, consumer analysis. Is it important identifying your consumer? Of course. Of course, this is very, very, very important. Okay, because different target market or different consumer will have different needs, different wants, different demand and stuff like that. Okay, this includes not just about identifying their strengths, their weaknesses. You're talking about your product positioning, you're talking about your consumer interest, their satisfaction, okay, in terms of the buyer's decision-making process, the price, the extent of the renovation. Okay, you're talking about customer satisfaction. Wow, there's so many things in regards of your consumer. Okay, consumer or potential buyers, they are the king. Okay, they are the king. So they hold the key. They hold the key. Either they want to buy your product or they don't want to buy your product. So that's why you have to take care of your consumer. Okay. Again, when you're talking about consumer, you have this age group, occupation, the income, family profile, purchase interest, etc., etc. All this is important, basic information that's important about your consumer. Okay, basic information about your consumer. Okay, I don't know how far you have discussed about your assignment, but when you are looking at your assignment, you are looking at the cafe per se, be it the vending machine, be it the container concept or the grab and go concept, you realize that your consumer might want it, things that they want. Okay, only offer things that they want. Okay? And it's not easy to identify what they want. It's not easy to identify. But is it doable? Yes, it's doable. It's not easy, but it's doable. Okay? Right. So, any questions so far? Dah, tidur dah.
So far, no, doctor. Your explanation so well, so good.
Sudahlah, Brian. Allahu Akbar kabira.
But I didn't fully understand the difference between the market area by substitute properties and by analogues.
Oh, you mean it's quite confusing because it looks very much similar, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. One is the substitute, meaning that if you are looking at a condo, okay, you're looking at a condo, you must find another substitute for the condo. Okay, condo as well. Maybe in your particular area, you cannot find it maybe a bit far from your area. There's another condo development, okay, substitute, okay, because yours is vacant land, remember? Yours is vacant land, nothing on it, nothing on it. So now you find a substitute that has the condo in it because your project is about condo. So that is the substitute. Yours is vacant land. You cannot compare to anything because it's not there yet. So you cannot identify the market scope. Okay. So right. Another one is analog. It's very much similar. So again, you want to do a mixed development. Mixed development. So what happened is that you find similarity. Similarity. Okay. Just now you substitute. Maybe it's not similar. It's just a matter of condo versus condo. But when you are talking about the mixed development, you find the similarity. Okay, lebih kurang sama. Macam apa yang you nak buat. Contoh, you are talking about mixed development in regards of the residential, commercial and stuff like that. Okay, yours is this land. And next door to your land, next to your land, not next door lah, next to your land is actually another taman that has all the things that you want to do. Similar, sama. Yang tadi tu, you don't have a choice. Condo, you can only have condo, but maybe some of the element is not there. Itu saja beza dia. Lebih kurang sama. Tapi macam tak serupa. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. What happened just now? What happened here in this particular session? We are looking at first defining the market area. Okay. We said just now that when you want to define your market area, it's not an easy task. Because why? Because once you want to do your market research is so much different with your academic research. Okay, it's so much different with your academic research. Why? Because you must make sure that your market scope, the respondent is the one that be able to be your genuine respondent. Okay, because it's going to help you towards decision making. Unlike when you do your dissertation research, when you do your academic research, contoh, you are, how do you do your sampling? You say that, oh, it's actually convenient sampling. How convenient is convenience? Oh, I know A, then A pass me to B, B get another friend called C, D, E, F, so on and so forth. Okay, convenient sampling in your academic research. Whereas in defining the market area, your respondent, your scope and stuff like that, it must be that these particular people do have a say towards whatever that you want to produce. Can actually give you reliable and viable information that can assist towards your market research. That's the difference here, kawan-kawan. Okay, so meaning that when you are talking, when you asking people in your market research, you must make sure that they have this particular knowledge. They know what they want. Because again, you don't want to make a mistake when you develop something and nobody wants the product. It's not saleable. Okay, then these particular things will become very costly to the organization. Okay, nampak tak? That's why kita kata tadi, when you are talking about this market research, it's actually applied research. One. Second, it has got to be reliable. It has got to be reliable. It has got to be valid to assist you towards the decision making. Is it easy? It's not easy, but it's doable. Unlike your academic research just now. Okay, katalah your academic research. Okay, you cannot actually go to the site. You cannot go to the site. You can use proxy. Okay, dalam academic research, you can use proxy. Exchange that. Okay, use proxy. Okay, so when you use proxy, your proxy actually have not been to that site that you are trying to research. But your proxy is actually your sample size, okay, for your research. Okay, tetapi when you are talking about your market research, your real estate market research, it has got to be the right people for you to have the right answer at the right time to assist you towards your decision making. Okay, can you see the difference or not?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Any more questions?
Doctor, for our assignment, right, there's
Ah.
one part where it said the rent charges can be searched at PMR. What is this PMR?
Property market report.
Okay.
Boleh?
Okay.
Or else you can ask your senior. Kalau senior you, okay, some of your senior might be working now, right? They might have some rough ideas. Or look at the classified. Although the classified is actually the asking rent, right? Classified tu biasanya is the asking rent. But then again, it can give you some rough ideas. Some rough ideas. Okay? Some rough ideas. Who are staying in PJ now? Sekarang ni tak kisahlah, wherever that you are staying, you can obtain the information. Or anything that you cannot obtain, you just let me know. Just let me know. Okay. Is that your part? Looking at the rental price, is it?
Oh no, we were discussing the other day, then we couldn't figure out what PMR was.
Oh wow. Sorry, I'm using the short form. Property market report. Property market report. Okay. Anything else?
Doctor, just now you teach us so many concepts, like the
market area.
Yeah, so should we including that in our assignment, something like Rayleigh's law or Applebaum?
Boleh juga if you want, but normally you are talking about the easiest way would be the first one lah. Market area, census, your population. Census, the population, that would be easier. Because Riley and Applebaum is more towards the retail. I didn't go into that wait. Oh, this one, is it? No. One. Okay, this one. I've highlighted here actually for market area for retail properties. It can be defined using a number of general and specific techniques. One, you're talking about the census. Second, you're talking about substitute properties, the analog, the Riley, Applebaum. You're talking about the Nelson. Okay, this is meant for retail properties. Whereas when you're talking about offices, the market area can be defined using the CBD versus the suburban, single tenant, multi-tenants, the class and the quality, as well as the specific location analysis. Okay, so this is what it meant. Okay, so that is actually the scope of this particular market area. Okay, you just do a simple one, Brian. I would suppose that the census would be better, the population, because it's easier for you to define, isn't it? Can you actually, will you be able to do a primary data collection to your friends and stuff like that? Would that be possible?
Yes.
Yes, huh? Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, no need to have a bigger number lah. Just ensure that they give some feedbacks. And do you have your area already? You have your area, which part of campus that you are interested in?
Yes.
Doctor, do we need a vacant space?
No, not really. No. It can be the, what is it? Somebody was telling me about the siswa. What is the name of that? Perdana siswa, is it?
Perdana Siswa KPS.
Perdana siswa. Somebody was telling me, is it Puan Dr. Zai ke siapa? Somebody was telling me, because last Friday I was there in UM. Somebody was telling me that would be a good thing. I didn't have time to visit that. Maybe some other time I will go and visit Perdana Siswa. Do you like it? Do you like it, Perdana Siswa?
Nothing there, Doctor.
Maybe with your cafe, it can revive the new synergy.
Yeah, my group plan to make it at KPS.
Oh, is it? Okay, that's good. We shall wait for that.
Doctor, I got
Yes.
one question.
Okay.
For the cafe, we should is that we should find a space that is empty that haven't been used, or we can propose a new concept into an available cafe.
It can be either way. No issue.
Okay.
Boleh saja.
Sure.
In fact, when you go to the Alam Banner, when you look at their cafe, I don't think I like it. I'm not quite sure about you. Maybe you can give it a new a new synergy, a new whatever lah, a new things to that particular area. You know, hopefully by next sem you'll be able to come back to campus, isn't it? Oh no, next sem you have your internship already.
Hopefully we can graduate in UM.
Yes, you can. Oh, you mean come back for the graduation? Yeah. Okay, insyaAllah. Semoga dipermudahkan. Yes. Come back for your graduation, right? Now there's no graduation. Yep. Okay. Anything else about the cafe? It can be the things that is vacant. It can be zero. You start from zero, or the existing cafe. You assume that you want to give it a new life to it. A new life to it. Okay, got some ideas already, is it?
Yes, sort of.
Okay.
Still developing.
Okay, I have a
Okay,
question.
no problem. But then, Ashwin?
So during our discussion, this is what I felt like the confusion I had. How to put it in words, because when we were discussing the discussion market research, how do we stick to what we need to submit for the assignment? Because when we discuss, the discussion usually tends to go further inside the business and the concept of the business itself, the cafe itself, rather than the research. How do we stick to the research part for the assignment?
That's why I'm giving you the outline already. You can use that outline, just slot in the information there.
Okay.
As simple as that. Of course, you can go beyond that. You're talking about businessmen, you are full of, you are very creative, you got all the ideas in the world. Do you realize that now there's a group of people that likes coffee so much, either cold brew, either hot latte and whatnot. They have their own groups, kawan-kawan. They have their own groups that actually they are the one yang
Do cafe hopping.
cafe hopping is one thing. They like all these sorts of ideas, okay, new ideas. Sometimes the cafe is not unlike the who opened the big one in KL. I don't know. Is it Starbucks? Starbucks, one big cafe, very modern, very good design and stuff like that. It can be just a small one, just under the tree, or just even from the bonnet of their car. But then again, they can produce a very good coffee, very good coffee, and people love it. People love it for some reason. People love it. When you open up the cafe, what are the things about these drinks, kawan-kawan? What is it? What is it that people are buying actually? What is it that people are buying? Understanding your customer. What are people buying actually?
For the experience of having coffee in a nice place.
Experience, okay. Other than that, what are people are buying?
The food.
Buying flats.
Variety.
Buying
Brand.
what?
The brand.
The brand?
The branding.
Branding. Lavinia, what is it?
Yeah, I mean like the food itself, like to have some variety from what we normally eat.
Oh, okay. So when you're talking about coffee, the actual thing that they are looking for is the aroma of the cafe. Okay, one. Second, if you're talking about the place like Starbucks ke, Coffee Bean ke, Gloria Jane ke, San Francisco ke, whatever coffee that we are talking about, what they are buying is actually the lifestyle. They are buying the lifestyle. Not so much of the coffee, not so much of this food and stuff. Of course, it has got to be good, but they are buying the lifestyle. You want coffee, the mama store sell what they are selling is coffee, but you don't want coffee. You want lifestyle. That's what it meant. Or of course, when you're talking about all this assignment and stuff like that, you tend to go into businesses, you tend to go into marketing, because it works both ways. It works both ways. Okay? Your data is for you to justify why you want to develop, why you want to open up such cafe. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it suitable? Can it actually generate income to the universities? At the end of the day, you must have the marketing elements as well. Okay? I saw this one coffee developed by all these young people. They actually buy all the coffee. When you read their history or the background of the company, they buy all the coffee from around the world. Okay, and it takes them months before they be able to develop the so-called cold brew coffee. Cold brew coffee. And their target market is the uplifting professional. That's their target market. Uplifting professionals. So it meant for people that work, professionals that work. So when they talk about cold brew, is unlike other coffee, when it's cold brew, caffeine is higher, isn't it, than normal coffee. Okay, cold brew, the caffeine is higher, so the caffeine is meant to boost their professional life. I don't know how, but it's rather interesting. It's rather interesting. Okay. All right.
But cold brew is softer to drink. But cold brew is usually softer to drink.
Yes, it's smoother. Yes, it's smoother. Oh, you know already. Yes. Right. I mean, I don't know myself. I've got to read, I've got to read. I've just drink the normal kampung coffee one, the black one, I'm happy already. But all these people, they search for something that is unique in taste. Unique in taste. And the good part is that when they brew this cold brew coffee, they educate their customers from the cold brew because it's less acidic, high caffeine, okay, less acidic. So some people might not be able to take coffee because of the acidic. Okay, angin perut. Okay, later you've got so many angin full of wind inside your tummy. So it's less acidic and it's very smooth in taste. So they say that this is how you should drink your cold brew. Either you take it cold or you warm it up for you to take it hot. You can make your latte or you can make dessert out of it. So that's how they educate their customers. So that's quite good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it and get to know their coffee. I don't drink their coffee, no. Okay, right. So any other questions? Senyap je.
Tak ada.
Wih, laju je tak ada.
Setakat ni tak ada lah.
Setakat ni tak ada lah. Okay, tak ada lah. Okay, Ikhwan senyap je hari ni. Muhammad Fawaz ni lagi tak pernah suara. Fawaz, suara sikit. Fawaz tak ada suara.
Ikuan ada.
Ada tapi senyap je hari ni. Alright, so whatever it is, what's important in today's session, I just recap, then we can dismiss. Okay, I just recap that what happened now when you're talking about market research is not similar to the one that you do in regards of the academic research, especially when you're trying to define your market area. Is it important? Very important, because your market area will identify your respondent, your sampling and stuff like that. Okay, and then another thing is that you're looking in terms of this analysis. Okay, you've got the supply, you've got the demand, you've got the competitors, you've got the customers, and tomorrow we shall look at how difficult, when we're looking at this demand analysis, how difficult is difficult. Okay, what are the things that makes demand not easy for you to estimate? Okay, even when you are talking about houses, kawan-kawan, you are talking about residential, you can estimate demand up to less than 5 years. Less than 5 years, you can estimate your demand. Other than that, you cannot estimate your demand. Why? Because you are talking about the movement of people. People keep on moving from one place to another. That's why it's not easy for you to estimate your demand. Supply, yes, no issue. Okay, you're talking about the consumer behavior, why people buy the things that they buy, why people buying the residential. You learn your urban land economics, right? In your urban land economics, you learned about the location theory, and you realize there are 3 things that makes residential housing is a very subjective in terms of their preferences. Okay, in terms of their preferences, they are the largest land use of course. Residential is the largest land use, but at the end of the day, when you're talking about this particular residential demand, is very subjective, very subjective. Why they buy the real estate, why they stay in that particular area pun, we don't have the answer to those things. Okay, there's no right and wrong answer. Kawan-kawan, there's no right or wrong answer. It's about their preferences. Okay, if you do not, if you're in doubt, okay, since you are at home now, ask your parents, why do they buy the house that you are in now? Why? Ask them why. Ma, kenapa kita beli rumah dekat sini? Why are we here, ma? Why not someplace else? Ask them, because it's very subjective. Okay, I've got a friend that stay in Air Keruh, Melaka, but work in Cyberjaya. So she commute every day, kawan-kawan. Nobody understands her, but that is her preferences. Okay, so that's what residential is all about. All right. Okay. If you have any questions for the assignment, don't forget to text me. Okay. If you have some skeleton ideas and whatnot, you want me to go through, fine. Okay, doesn't really matter. WhatsApp me, send me the documents and stuff like that. Don't worry about these skeleton things. You know, it does not have to be perfect. Okay, it does not have to be perfect. It's work in progress, so doesn't really matter. Okay. For as long as you want me to go through with it, okay, fine. I'll be able to go through with it. So not to worry. Okay. Any more questions?
So far, no questions.
Good. Very good. So far, so good. Okay. If there's none, don't forget to dah lupa dah. Attendance. Don't forget to fill in your attendance.